defensive line. And as I started looking at the defensive line, um, for some reason, I thought there was going to be more names that I wanted to list off on here. I felt like there was going to be more names, and when I really got into it, there's a lot of guys. There's a lot of young guys in here that I didn't necessarily list on here. I have 5 guys on here, and if you've listened to me at all this offseason, you know that I felt like this defensive line position at Montana is the biggest position of need. Like, I just don't think they have a lot of bodies here. But one guy I didn't have in my list is Nui Tovai. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. 6'3", 240 pounds. Actually, oh, they don't have the ear thing on here. Oh, well. But Nui Tovai, he's from Utah Tech. He's coming to Montana, 6'3", 240 pounds. He's a sophomore. It says defensive end on here, but we'll see what that looks like. But the guys I had listed on here were Tyler King, the defensive lineman from Central Washington. I believe he was an all-conference guy, All-American. I can't remember exactly what his superlatives were, but I know he was a very successful player. Let's look at his bio real quick. Let's look at his bio. I know they'll have it listed out in here. Breakout season led the Lone Star Conference and was number 8 in D3 in sacks with 13, was second in the LSC and top 25 in D2 and TFLs with 17. Lone Star Conference Defensive Player of the Year and a first-team All Lone Star Conference player. Absolutely. So Tyler King, I feel like, is a big get. He's obviously somebody who I think they're probably hoping on, not necessarily dependent on, but he's going to have to be an impact player on this defense for this Montana team to do anything. 6'5", 250 pounds. He'll probably play on the interior of that defensive line. Not the biggest defensive lineman. Obviously, in my opinion, I feel like you need somebody who's close to 280, and I felt like I saw somebody of that weight class commit. I remember they had the northern guy, the Montana Northern guy commit. I don't know if I've seen him on the roster. But I had Tyler King on there, obviously. Ezekiel, and this is why I hope they got the ear thing. I think they got the ear thing on here for him because I know I'm going to butcher his last name. Let's listen to this.
Ezekiel Somalo, Kent, Washington.
Somalo. I made it harder than it was. Ezekiel Somalo. 6 foot. He's a senior, 6 foot, 265 pounds. He comes from Allen Hancock. I have no idea where Allen Hancock is. That feels like a D3 school, NAIA. He's originally from Kent, Washington. He's only 6 foot tall, but he is 265 pounds, so he's a bigger body. Is this the northern guy? No, transferred to Montana in time for summer workouts with 3 years of eligibility to play 2 seasons. Expected to add speed and depth to the D-line. So he came here last year and comes to UM with 56 total tackles, 8 sacks, and 13 TFLs in 2 seasons. So I don't know where Allen Hancock is. Let's look where Allen Hancock is. Hancock football. Allen Hancock football. College. Where are they located at? That's the real question. Has anybody ever heard of Allen Hancock? I've heard of George. Where's the one in Oregon? This is in California, Santa Maria, California. So is this a JUCO? This feels JUCO-ish, right? Feels like a JUCO. Must be a JUCO. It's in California though. But yeah. So Ezekiel Seomalo. I just already missed his last name.
Ezekiel Somalo, Kent, Washington.
Ezekiel Somalo. He feels like somebody who's going to need to make an impact this year. But you also got Hayden Schwartz. Remember, I feel like Hayden Schwartz has the size, feels like a big guy. Hayden Schwartz is probably somebody they need to step up this year as well. 6'4", 248 pounds. He came from Minnesota. He played last year to the Manasseh Tuopu from MSU Northern. I would like to know more. He seems like a player. Yeah, let me see that name. Manasseh Tuopu. Yeah, I haven't seen him on here. That's who I was looking for. I feel like him, he's going to have to be an impact player as well. But I haven't seen him on here. He's not on here right now. Maybe they'll add him, as they start spring ball, fall camp. Maybe that's when they'll announce some of those guys. But I haven't seen him on here. He's not on here. He's not on here right now. But Hayden Schwartz feels like somebody else. Like, hey, it's time for him to step up. It's time for him to make an impact on this defensive line. Feels like another interior defensive lineman guy. Like, they do have edges. I feel like Jake Mason, who I have on here as well. I mean, none of these guys are super big, but they're all kind of the same size. They're all kind of like 6'4", around 250 pounds, like 6'1", 340. Exactly. Now, one thing that I caution against that, 6'1", 340, that's not tall, but that's a lot of weight. So, one, I think about how does he move? How does his conditioning? Like, can you keep him on the field for 3 downs? And, just how does he move? Maybe he can fill a gap or two, but, like, is he just getting pushed around? Like, is he strong? I feel like he's probably strong, but he is coming from the NAI. Like, I don't know. Like, we'll have to see. We will have to see. But he's a big body. He's a big guy who can make some impact as well. But Hayden Schwartz is another guy. Jake Mason on here. I just mentioned Jake Mason. Jake Mason made some plays last year. I think Jake Mason maybe had 4 or 5 sacks last year, 3 or 4 sacks. My sophomore. Saw time in all 13 of UM's 14 games. Put in 6 total tackles. Also added a QB hurry and a pass breakup against UC Davis. Oh, dang. So not really any stats last year, unfortunately, for Jake Mason. But he's somebody else who they need to step up. Let's see. Total sacks. He had 2 sacks. And he had 5.5 TFLs, looking at the full stats. So not bad. But he also wasn't, I don't think he was a starter or anything. Jake Mason might have started. But he's a redshirt junior this year. So Jake Mason is going to be another guy. And then another guy, a young guy, Glacier guy I had on here is Isaac Keim. Isaac Keim feels like somebody who can and will need to, maybe not need to, but can make an impact. He's been here for a few years. He's a redshirt sophomore, 6'4", 265 pounds, a big body guy, a homegrown guy. This relates to that conversation I've been having all offseason about some of your impact players, a lot of your impact players, I'd say at least 3 to 4 of your impact players need to be guys from in the state, whether they're making an impact on special teams. Tanner Huff makes an enormous impact on special teams. He's a Butte guy. Isaac Keim, can he be that guy on the defensive line? I mean, who is going to break out? Obviously, these guys got recruited to Montana for a reason, and it just seems like some of the guys that they've recruited from the state, Cade Cutler, Cade Boyd are 2 other guys who are from the state who make plays as well. But Isaac Keim, 6'4", 265 pounds, he's a big boy. He feels like somebody who they could use on this defensive line and feels like somebody who can make an impact. So Isaac Keim is the other guy I had on here. But obviously, like I mentioned, Logan, we're going to Canavelsrud. I think it's Canavelsrud. They're not going to play it. It's not playing. Did you guys hear that? I didn't hear anything. It's not playing. Jake Mason's, none of these are playing. Did we mess it up? At 6'1", 340 dude who ended up at Northern likely has some weaknesses. I guess quickness. Yeah. That's just my
Logan Canavelsrud.
North
Bend, Washington.
So Logan Canavelsrud, redshirt freshman, 6'4", 235 pounds. He could be somebody. Maybe you got Cole Mullenberg at 6'5", 246 pounds. He could be somebody as well. Remember, it's summertime, so these guys are, if they're needing to put on weight, they're putting on weight now. If they're needing to lose weight, they're losing weight now. That's where all this stuff happens. Giovanni Pifferini, 6'4", 230 pounds, from a redshirt junior from Fresno City. Could he be somebody? But I mentioned the guys who I think really, really are the guys you're probably going to be looking at coming into fall camp. But I think Cole Mullenberg could be somebody to pay attention to. Pifferini maybe, and then maybe Logan Canavelsrud. Seems a little smaller, but Logan Canavelsrud for sure. Maybe somebody as well. Looking at some of the other guys, yeah. And then one guy I kind of got my eyes on after watching this film was Evan Pyron. Man, he looked like a beast playing at Hellgate. He looks like a beast, man. He feels like somebody who could really develop into a really good player. Okay.